Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to walk you through this. This part of our work, specifically voice capturing and brand message, is something that is really important, or I would say the backbone of our work, because without these things, we won't be able to create output that resonates with our client as well as their audience. So, whether you're writing captions, making contents, I believe this work matters. So let's dive into it. For this walkthrough, we'll cover what brand voice really means, how to uncover it through deep listening and story work, as well as tools to help you in doing this process. And then I'll also be sharing some examples and practices that I currently do that I think might help you guys as well. Okay, so what are these things? So let's get started by getting clear on what we actually mean when we talk about brand voice and messaging, especially for us who focus on personal branding. So I would like to think of it like this. So a message is what they want to say. So it's like their core truth or the story and the mission they're here to share with their audience. For voice, it is how they say it, or the emotional tone, or the personality behind their words. As for the tone, it is the mood or the vibe while they deliver the message they're talking about. So, why does this work matter? I think what we're doing is not just about helping our client build their brand and establish their social media presence, but I think it's about helping our clients share what matters most to them. And the people who work here at Rice is someone who has a personal story and a message they feel called to share and a deep sense of mission. And when we hold that mindset and we really get to know them, we feel more empowered and often inspired by what they are sharing. That's why building strong rapport with our client is so important to make them feel seen and supported. And there may be even times where our client feels like they have a lot of things to say, but don't quite know how to say it. And I think that is also where we come in, not just as service providers or not just as account managers, but as partners helping them shape and share their story. So, now for some steps and exercises that we can follow. First, here we have messaging discovery questions. So, when you're uncovering a brand's message, you might want to ask questions that go deeper than what is your message. So, this is something that I have been practicing, and I noticed that it's really helpful when we ask more intentional questions with our clients during our content calls. So before, what I usually do during our content calls is I would just discuss some content strategy and I would request some resources, but I've come to realize how important question and answer portion is, because I notice that when we often ask questions like this, we get a better grip of where they are right now. So I included here a couple of sample questions that I think is a good guide as to what type of question we should ask our client during our content call. And I suggest you give them a list of questions in advance, because sometimes they might be put on the spot and don't have the answer for it yet. So allow them to have the time to reflect and think about these questions. And then when we get those answers, we can be strategic and turn them into actual contents like carousel posts as well as talking head videos. So next is where to listen for voice and messaging clues. So the more resources you review, the more you'll understand your client's natural voice. So pay attention to how they tell their story and the words they often use, or even just their overall vibe. And then some ways I can share that are helpful, especially if you're just starting with a client, is to stalk them thoroughly on their social media accounts and check their story highlights, their previous post, and even their captions, because you would have an idea on how they narrate, or even the emoji and the usual punctuation they use would be so helpful. And then you can also look for a website or some podcast episodes if they have one, because usually those things or those areas is where they tell more of what they do and why they do it. Next is signature language and message anchors. So I think this is also related with messaging clues. So learning their signature language is also very helpful in creating content, and because you will know which message or phrases would be a staple to them. So like here with Virginia and Gina, these are the common phrases that they use. And I also included here a CTA. So this is a common CTA we use if they are doing or creating a talking head video, and what I include in their captions. Okay, so next is using AI to support this work. AI have been a fundamental to our work, and I shared here two of my favorite platforms to seek help, especially when creating ideas for content and captions. So first we have ChatGPT, and I think we're all familiar with it already. So the thing with ChatGPT is the more specific your prompts are, the more accurate results it will give. And I also suggest you guys to have a dedicated ChatGPT account per client, so it will not mix all the messages you input. So guys, I will share you a document that has different prompts we can use. So this is a document, guys. As you can see here, there are different tabs that you can access, and each prompt is customizable according to your client. So we have here um, prompts for hooks, prompts for contents like carousel and reels. And I also included here a plug and play hook, which is not niche specific, meaning everyone can use it. And I think it would also be helpful in coming up with a content inspo. I will update this guys monthly. Like for example, if there are current trendy hooks, I will include them here. And then there's also this tab. So it's a template where you guys can input some important information about your client so you can easily access them. Next is the script. I'm not sure if you guys are already familiar with it, but it's really handy, especially with long videos or talking heads. And let's admit it, there are times when we are circling back on what to write or what is the main point of the video. So let me just give you a short tutorial on how to use the script. So you can start a free account and then just click this new project, video project, and then upload your file. So let's say this one. Click done and then wait for it as it's transcribing. So once it's done, you guys can copy this and then paste it to ChatGPT and ask for it according to what you need. So if you need caption or if you need to make a carousel post, just paste this to ChatGPT. I think this is the last step or the exercise, and also one of the most important. It is voice feedback and message alignment. So during our content calls, let's also make it a habit to initiate and asking for their feedback. So questions like, do you feel the recent posts have been capturing your voice well? So if they say yes, then we have the confidence that we are on the right track. And if they say no, then we have the opportunity to learn and understand what we can adjust and do better. And then we can also ask if there are any areas they need more push or extra help. And this way, it keeps our relationship with our clients honest and evolving and growing. So, guys, let's keep this in mind. Our client's message can shift or change over time. That's why having that alignment and communication is very important.